guys, this is Chodaros Designs, and we have another bracelet by Suzanne HB, or Crazy Just May Work on Instagram. This is a hook only incorporating large hole bling, jump rings, jewelry rings of any sort. These ones in particular are 14 millimeter. So we're going to do a single chain type of a stitch first to loom the rings, and then we're going to come back and we're going to throw a border around that. So it is nice and thick because I did use the Rainbow Loom silicone bands. I believe they're the sweets, the blue sweets and the white. So it is nice and thick, and I do have a closure here. I'll take off just to show you the length. So in this one in particular, I used 9 rings for a full wrap, which is nice because you don't have to use that many rings. Okay, so let's grab our supplies and we will get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, these are about 14 millimeter in diameter, a little bit of a design to them. So I'm going to use these blue sweets. I worked with some color, and I find it looks pretty, the prettiest the way that Suzanne created it with just 2 colors. Excuse me. So we're going to do our cap band, and there's 2 ways that you can do this. If you like to incorporate, because this is based off of Suzanne's leaf stitch, and how we do a leaf stitch is we would always over, under, and then grab this back band. That's the leaf stitch. So how we would do it with a jump ring or jewelry ring is we would put the back band on top, which would be our jewelry ring on top of this front band, like that. And then we would go under the first band, over the jump ring, and then under the other part of the band like that. And then that's how you can do the leaf stitch with a jewelry ring. Okay, so we want to go ahead and chain one more. Like that. And then we just want to pull that cap band down over to the second band. Like that. Okay, so now we want to put this ring back up on our hook, and we want to pull a new band, pull everything on your hook over, so through the jump ring and through the 2 loops on your hook, like that, and then just close it up. And then we want to chain one more, like that. So now we want to add our second ring. So you can either do the leaf stitch, or you can just simply put the ring on your hook and then take a new band and pull it on top like that. And then you would just close it up. So you want to keep this part over here that we're working with separate from this new part. So then we just want to chain one more. Like so, and then pull these 2 loops up and over. And then I kind of tug on mine because I want these 2 loops we just pulled up to go to that next to the jump ring. It keeps these loops on your ring nice and snug. So after we do that, then we put our ring back up on our hook, and then we pull a band through the ring and the 2 loops, and then close it up. And then we do that one more time, like that. So that's what you should have. So then again, adding our next ring, pulling it up and over a new band, and then chaining one more like that, and then we pull these two loops on the left up and over, slide them down a tad, and then reattach our ring. Then pull a band through the ring and the two loops, attach, and then chain one more. Like that. So I'll do one more, but it is quite simple. So when you're adding a new ring, you're always chaining two, like that. And after you chain your two, you're just pulling these two loops up and over. And like I said, I like to push them down so it secures these two loops on my ring. So when you have your ring just hanging out like that, you know it's time to put it back up on your hook. And then you just simply chain two. So we pull one band through everything on our hook, and then we add another band to complete. Okay, so once you get to the end and you have a full wrap, then you would just end at this step here and then just add your C-clip or a clip for close. So I'm just going to add this clip here and take it off. So you should have a nice tight two loops on the bottom of your ring, and then just a simple stitch there at the top of each ring like that. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this until we are at a wrap, and I'll meet you back for the border. Okay, so I have my full wrap complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only used 9 14mm jewelry rings, so that's good. You don't need too many, but that's what it should look like. So now we're going to start on the border, which is super simple as well. So when we have the jump rings facing towards you, if you see there's that band there, that's behind in the center of that first jump ring. That is your cap band. So we want to reach behind with our hook and go through from the back to the front like that through your cap band. Okay, so you want to pull, if you want to go by color, you want to pull the same color as your center through and then just close it up. So you want to always make sure that you're holding your bracelet where it's facing you. This is the front. And so our next step, oops, I'm sorry. So our next step is just to take our hook and we want to go through, oops, I'm sorry. We need to chain two here. So you want to take your contrast color and chain one more, like that. So once you have two, chain two from your cap band. Now we can go through our ring. So every time you go through the ring, if you are doing it by color, as I am here, you want to make sure that your contrast two loops are on your hook and then your hook is going through your ring. So that should always be that contrast color. And then we're going to go ahead and pull that same color through again. So that goes through the ring, and then it's only going to go through the first loop on your hook, like that. And then we're just going to close it up. So you should have 3 loops on your hook. Now we go back to our center color and then pull that through all 3 loops. And then I'm going to go and change back to my contrast and pull that one through. So that is the first sequence. So there's only 2 parts to this bracelet. We're going to go through our jump ring, and then after we do that step, we're going to go through this first chain that's attached to the top of the jump ring. So you want to come behind and stick your hook through and capture the loops like that. So that way you're just capturing the left side, because well, I'm left-handed, so I'm going up the left first, but so I'm going to go back, and at this point we want to go ahead and use the same color as we used for our border, or I'm sorry, for our center. So I'm going to take my blue and pull that through all 4 loops like that. And then we want to chain 1 more, so we want to go back to our contrast color. Like that. So now that we just went through that rubber band link, we are up to the point where it's time to go through our jewelry ring. And so again, when you go through your jewelry ring, if you're doing colors, you should have that contrast on your hook, go through the jewelry ring, and then pull another contrast color through the jewelry ring and just the first loop on your hook. Like that. And then that will give you 3 loops. We go back to our center color and we pull that one through all 3 loops, and then we chain 1 more with our contrast color. Like that. So that's what you should have so far. So now it's time to go through that 1 chain that's above this ring we just went through. So again, you want to go from the back to the front, and then we start out with our center color, and we're just pulling that band through all the loops. And then we go to our contrast color and we chain 1. Now we have that contrast color, we can go through our ring, use that same color going through the ring in the first loop, close it up. Grab our center color. Let me zoom you out, maybe that's the problem. And we want to go through all 3 loops like that, and then we go back to our contrast and just chain 1. So again, we're going to this rubber band length this time, going from the back to the front like that, and this time we go through with our center color all 4 loops. Contrast color next, chain 1, now it's time to go back through our ring, back to front, use that contrast color again, going through the ring and only the first loop on your hook, and close it up. Okay, so that's what you should have. You turn it over, it kind of gives it a little bit of a dent in the center, but it is so pretty, I believe, with the silicone bands. Love it. So I'll just do 1 more with you. So we just went through our ring, so now we go through this rubber band. So we're going to again go from the back to the front, and then we chain our center color through everything, chain 1 with our contrast. After we do 2, time to go through our ring, do contrast color, going through the ring in the first loop, and then another one to close it all up like so. I think I just did that wrong, didn't I? I'll have to see. I think I did the wrong color. Yep, that one should be blue. So I need to go ahead and fix that, but go ahead and finish that up until you reach the top, and then I will meet you up there so we can close up the one side and finish on the other. All right, so I have just finished all the way up into the top. So my last sequence was going through the jump ring, and then my 2 chaining the 2. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to take this band off my clip like this, put it on my hook, and because I need to turn it around. So I just want to capture this side like that, and then I want to take this blue band and I want this white, those two white loops to just go on top like that, and then add it back to my clip like that. Close it up. So there's the one side, so now we can start back and do the other. So we do need to make sure that we do this because it does have a back and a front, so we need to do this upside down so the two sides will match. So we want to turn it over this time, and we're just going to repeat what we did on this side. So again, we want to go through the cap band, so you want to make sure that you find that cap band. So the easiest way is to make sure that you're grabbing that band there in the center. You follow it back. It's this one right here. So we're just putting our hook through from back to front, adding the same color, chain 1, contrast color, chain 2. So then we just pull our hook down, and we need to go through that jewelry ring like that, and then we just pull contrast color through the ring and the first loop and close it up, and then we want to pull our center color through all 3 loops and then back to a contrast. Okay, so now because we're holding our bracelet upside down, I can't say that it is the loop above your ring. Now it becomes the loop below your ring, but just make sure that you're grabbing this one here. So then again, we're going from back to front, and I'm going to pull the same color as our center through all 4 loops, and then close it up. And now we want to pull contrast color through both loops and close it up. So now that we have that contrast color on, we know when we go through our ring that we need to add another contrast, and that will go through the ring and your first loop on your hook. And then we close it up. 3 loops, go back to our center color, pull that band through all 3, close it up, contrast color, chain 1 more, close it up. So you can see that that's what your design will look like. So now again, we go through to that next rubber band link after that ring, put our hook through, go through all 4 loops, and then contrast color, chain 1 more, go down into our next ring, pull it through the ring in the first loop, close it up, contrast, or the center color goes through all 3 loops, contrast color to finish the sequence. Okay, so again, through the rubber band link, like that. Okay, so if you have any issues or you need more additional help, you can go ahead and rewind. But I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to finish this one into the end. and then I will meet you down here for close up. All right, I am at the end of my bracelet. I just have the one ring to go through, so I'll do that one with you. So I'm just gonna put my hook in as normal, pull that contrast color through the ring and the first band, close it up, and then add my center color, and then another contrast like that. So we are now at the end. So we're gonna close it up like we did on the opposite side. So again, I have to flip my hook. So I'm just gonna, or I have to flip this here. So I need to take this and take it out. So then I'm just gonna catch that right side, take it off, and then I'm gonna pull this side through the remaining 2 loops on my hook. Then I'm gonna take that right loop and put it back on my hook like that. And you can see it's a little bit snug. So what I'd like to do is just take another band. I'm going to take the contrast color and just pull it through that blue like that. And that we can use to attach to our C-clip. So I'm just going to add my holding clip for now and close it up. So this is what you should have. It looks so pretty. It's nice and thick. I like to use the silicone bands. Suzanne, her post, she used the limited edition bands. Still come out beautiful. And if you turn it over, that's what it will look like. And like I said, it's a little bit in the center, you can see. So we put it on our wrist. Very pretty. So big shout out again to Suzanne. Thank you so much for another awesome design. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you stay tuned because we have a lot more coming. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.